Hi, and welcome back to the Addictive Wellness Channel. Today, we have a special guest. I am so excited he's here with us. This is Chef Danielle Shine.
Hi.
She has come all the way from Australia to join us. She is a true global traveler and just amazing when it comes to, as we love to do, creating recreations of your favorite healthy treats in the absolute best way possible. So, I am always impressed by the things that you create, and this is one of those that it's something, making gummies is something you never think that you could do healthy.
Yeah.
So how did you come to this world? Were you always healthy growing up, or what's your origin story like here?
I was a child of the 80s. And not a really healthy one, actually. So I loved all the junk food and all the naughty gummies. So, no, I didn't really have the best diet growing up. And actually, I was really unwell about 5 years ago now. I was in a pretty bad way.
Wow.
And that forces you to actually learn a lot more about the gut and how to be better with food.
Yeah. So what kind of led to you becoming, real sick?
Well, that's a really good question. I was in a very high-powered, crazy job, like full-time stress, which I thought was normal until I almost died. I mean, it sounds kind of dramatic, but it was 2 years of essentially working really hard. I didn't always eat the best foods, and I never cooked for myself. So, I mean, once I may have blown up a couple of eggs and burnt some pasta. I couldn't cook. So, yeah, I would go out, eat out, always order the salad.
So you went from not being able to cook to the master that you are now.
Yeah, I'm a chef now. I mean,
this is amazing. So for everyone at home, if you have challenges making food, or if you just have this thing in your head saying, I don't cook, I don't make food, it doesn't have to be that way. You can absolutely become a sensation, as Danielle has.
I don't know about sensation, but I'm definitely...
Well, I'm pretty sure if anyone who sees these and tries these gummies is going to say Danielle is a sensation.
Well, I love playing with food now. So now I'm actually really interested, and I've moved beyond burning the eggs, and now I can actually cook eggs. But everything else I like to do is play with, I guess, the old school stuff that's not so great for us, and I like to make it as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
For fun. This is what I do for fun.
It's so nice when people are embarking upon the health journey and you don't have to tell them you can never have chocolate anymore, you can never have gummy bears anymore. You can really have absolutely anything you want if you're clever enough to figure out a way to make it happen.
Totally. We've got so many cool ingredients at our disposal. One that I'm eyeing off here that I'm obsessed with.
So before we get to that one, what was kind of your inspiration for pulling together some of these ingredients?
Well, these gummies, okay, so I had my whole near-death experience, and from that point I started working with a functional medicine doctor, and she said to me, look, I had to basically introduce foods very slowly because, and you may be able to explain this really well, but my gut lining had a lot of holes in it. That's a basic explanation of it. Yeah. So when I ate food, I would be bloated, I would be really farty, excuse the language, but it was uncomfortable because I wasn't digesting things properly. So when I was actually at my lowest, I was in hospital, I worked with a functional medicine doctor, and she said, well, here's the herbal medication. You'll have to, introduce foods very slowly. So I was like eating baby food, mush, non-starchy vegetables. But something, I don't even know what it was, but I Googled something about gelatin. I'd heard something about gelatin being healing for the gut, went down a complete rabbit hole, and thought I'd play with it some more. But I wanted to make something that was nice to eat, that I could eat, that didn't aggravate my gut, that actually helped my gut. So this is kind of how these came about.
Yeah, it's so exciting when someone's, especially on the gut health journey, and is very often told you got to really cut down the foods you can eat. And it can be a little bit scary in terms of how boring it's going to be food-wise. But
can be.
If you, we were saying, if you get clever with it, there are ways to make it much more interesting, and you can have so much fun with it.
You can. Like these. We're going to make today.
Let's get started here. So today, guys, we are making unicorn gummies, and these are going to be made with only the cleanest and purest ingredients, and it's quite simple, actually. Only a few ingredients going in here. So you may have seen some other recipes we made that have had, 10, 15, or 20 ingredients. This one's not going to be like that.
Still yummy, though.
It's still amazing. It's going to be amazing, and it's super healthy. But it's easy to get started with. and so much fun. And when you give these to people, they will be blown away that they're actually really good for you.
Yeah, kids love these. And actually, it's something that if there's a parent there, you can make these with the kids. It's so fun for them to watch how it comes, together. And it doesn't take very long for them to set, as long as you've got some fun. We've got unicorn molds. But you can usually use like an ice tray mold or even like a Tupperware box, and you just pour it all in and then cut it up later.
Right, yeah, or even if you have a plate with raised edges, if you really don't have anything else, you pour it in there and you kind of cut it up into smaller pieces. But these kind of silicone molds are a great way to do it. You can make a lot of really fun different shapes, and the kids love it. So let's get started here.
Let's do it.
So what's our first ingredient?
So, well, the first ingredient is the gelatin. We're going to go 1 tablespoon of gelatin. The most important thing we need to do is bloom the gelatin. So we want to mix half of our water, and we've got 1/3 cup water. So Sage, do you want to pour half of the
let's put
water
our gelatin in here first, right?
Pop the gelatin in each one a separate bowl for this.
The water.
The water.
Water.
We've got Nosy in the room.
I did live for almost a year in Western Australia, and water is one of my best Australian words.
You do that well. You do it better than me. So now we do a bit of a whisk, like this, and that's all you need to do. Basically, you just want to make sure it's all really well combined, and then you set that aside, and it's okay. This is what happens is blooming, we call it.
Okay, so now that we have that there,
next
step is we have to do the things in another half of the water,
right? We've got to do the things, all the other things, which means right now we need to heat the next half of the water.
So you guys might have noticed we don't have a stove here. It's because Danielle, apart from being an expert in nutrition and an expert chef, she has superpowers in that her hands give off an incredible amount of infrared heat. So we don't even need a stove.
I was actually going to
real interesting,
like Superman style warm it up, but if we have to use my hands, then fine.
Okay, so we're warming up this water here, as you guys can see the steam coming off of it.
Pretend the steam is coming off. It is hot water. We are going to then add the the gelatin. How do they call it collagen? Same sort of...
Yeah, coming from the same sort of an origin.
Yeah.
But should we put these in there?
Well, I mean, it's kind of...
No preference on order for you?
I mean, I know I put recipes in order, but then sometimes I just kind of go out of order. But we just go with it. So this is like burning hot now. We're going to add it all into the saucepan. So pretend this is now the saucepan on your stove. And then we basically add in our xylitol.
So xylitol, of course, coming from organic birch trees, acts as a prebiotic, helps to kill off bad bacteria in the gut, and doesn't affect blood sugar. So it's one of our favorite sweeteners to use. But you got to make sure you get the high quality stuff, because not all xylitol is created equal.
See, that freaks me out a little, because some xylitol is made of bark.
So this would be made from birch trees.
Yeah, I love your xylitol.
But then most xylitol, when you hear plant-based xylitol or plant-derived xylitol, it's being made from Chinese GMO corn.
Yeah, I'm not happy about that.
Which is not super. It's not a superfood. I wouldn't recommend it, and it will probably give you some gut disturbances when you get all these residues of glyphosate coming in.
Oh, not fun.
Yeah.
So I like to use about 1.5 tablespoons of xylitol, but you can play around with it. You can go up to 2 or 3, depending on what kind of xylitol you use. And the other thing that you might want to try is flavoring. So I really like a company called Medicine Flower. So I'm just going to pop,
about 6 drops in there.
Yeah, let's go. Maybe 7. I really, really enjoy this because it's very potent. It's a sugar alcohol, I think. I don't know too much about it other than it is very natural. The woman that owns the company has told me the whole process. She's wonderful. I trust her. So Medicine Flower, if you haven't looked into it, they're really quite nice instead of vanilla essence, because I feel like we use a lot of vanilla essence and stuff.
Good to mix it up flavor-wise a little bit.
Good to mix it up, get a little variety. So this one's actually, I put in blueberry flavoring.
Nice. Oh, that'll be a perfect flavor combination.
Yeah. So then we mix all of that up. Now the thing to remember is before we add our colouring, and you tell us more about that.
Yeah, I'm excited. You see, I'm already reaching for it.
I know, I'm so fascinated by it. But the most important thing, this is a really fast process. So the important thing to note is that when it's on your stove, you're adding all of these things in and you're giving it a really good whisk, and it's up high for not very long because it'll start to bubble. You turn it straight down and you'll see the whole thing will start to thicken a lot more. You want to take it off. It's just such a fast process.
It's a fast process, but don't let that scare you. It really like, it actually scared me quite a bit and made me not want to try this recipe for a while, because I was like, geez, what if I do it like too soon or too late? The first time I did it, it turned out perfect. Second time I did it perfect, and I wasn't timing either time.
Yeah.
So don't get too nervous about that. It'll be okay. There's a little wiggle room there.
I mean, gelatin, the other thing is vegan gummies are a little bit more finicky.
Yeah.
Do you use that word here in this country?
Yeah.
Finicky. Did I just make up a word?
Finicky is a new one. That may be an Australian exclusive.
Let's put that in the dictionary. Yeah, the vegan ones are a little bit tougher. You have to watch a bit more. But these ones, yeah, you're right. You can't really go wrong. And you don't have to. I'm not really the type of chef that times everything.
Yeah.
And I sometimes, put a little bit of extra or a little bit less of stuff, and it always seems to work out. So don't always freak out about it.
So you got to watch for the bubbles and don't want to get too thick.
Just turn it down.
Just takes a couple minutes on the stove, that's all.
Now we add the color.
There's lots of different ways you can get color into these. In fact, if you guys check out Danielle as chef_shine on Instagram, you'll see she also did some with beet powder to get them red.
Yeah.
But today we're going for the blue. And so we're going to use our Addictive Wellness Blue Butterfly Flower Powder.
This is so beautiful. I am obsessed with this color. Just mix it in, give it a good whisk. Okay, so that is pretty much done. It's mixed, it's on the stove, it's ready to pour, but before we pour, we're going to pause that and you're going to tell me more about this.
Okay, so this blue butterfly pea flower that we've put in there is a fascinating herb. It comes from Thailand and it grows all over the place there, and they use it in many of their dishes. You'll even see sometimes they use it in a rice dish to make this vibrant blue rice. It's amazing to see. They make a tea with it. And it does so much. It helps to balance blood sugar. It contains some amazing potent anthocyanidin and proanthocyanidin antioxidants. And
you said that really well. I'm just going to say,
thank you. Who
can say that word? Like, I feel like Sage just says all the words perfectly.
Oh, you're so sweet.
How do you say it again?
Proanthocyanidin.
Proanthocyanidin.
You're real close. You're like 99% of the way there.
Okay, sorry, I interject.
Just do once more. Proanthocyanidin.
Cyanidin.
Boom, there you go.
Wonderful.
All right. And so one of the most interesting things is that it inhibits glycation. Glycation is what happens when you're running a glucose and sugar-based metabolism, and when you have these advanced glycation end products, it causes accelerated aging and wrinkling of the skin. So that really is just making it such a difference in terms of the aging process. And so now we got this in there, and the form that we have this blue butterfly flower in, it's a freeze-dried extract, very high-quality extract, made in a way that preserves the maximum integrity of all these unique compounds and nutrients in there. There's many ways to make extracts, and you can just not even extract it, but just sun dry it and grind it. And in that process, there's going to be a lot of heating that happens, and you can lose some of these precious, heat sensitive and oxidation sensitive compounds. So this is really, we're going for the ultimate here, because why not? We want to make these the most epic gummies ever.
That's why I love this product. It just makes the most beautiful color. I'm just going to say also, I have tried other brands before I knew about you, by the way. I'm not cheating on you.
This is before we met.
But it's interesting to hear you talk about that, because the color has been different, the flavor has been different. So I think it's the quality. It's probably a lot less.
Thank you.
Yeah, so that's...
So I think we're ready to get these poured into the mold.
So we... Yeah, hang on. Let's do
Oh, that's
that.
yours? Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh my goodness.
So gummy.
That is so good. That's even
Wow.
better than the ones I usually. This is because it's your xylitol.
Well,
That's what it is.
they're so nice.
Oh wow.
So thank you guys so much for joining us. Be sure to follow Chef Shine on Instagram and leave a comments below if you give these a try and let us know how you enjoy them.
Enjoy.
Wishing everyone a wonderful day.